Yeah, welcome to another MMA grind. Schizo Jits here. UFC Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley fight week is here in Florida. Fight night. Pretty decent card. Not like so super stacked, but got a couple of good names on there. Manal Cap, a few others. Cup Swanson in the co-main. But I just want to talk about the main event. Can Colby Covington recapture his, a few fights ago glory or just form, I guess you could say, like his cardio, his pace, his fighting style? Can he do that against Joaquin Buckley? Joaquin Buckley is on a 5-fight win streak. Colby Covington has basically traded wins and losses in his last 5 fights, albeit tougher competition. Obviously, he's a few of those were like 3 of those were title fights. So that's that, but he has not fought very recently. He hasn't fought since last year. It's basically essentially a year since the last time he's fought. Buckley's fought 3 times in that time span and has 5 straight wins in the welterweight division since coming down from 185. So, I mean, this is a very intriguing matchup right here because we don't know what Colby's gonna show up. Did Masvidal take his soul in the street, outside that steakhouse in Florida, a couple years back? I mean, we don't know. He did have some damage, I think a broken jaw or something, and then also just, he was saying that he had some type of issues with his, like, I don't know, I don't want to say like PTSD, but, like concussion type symptoms or something. So who knows what really happened and what really went down and how severe those injuries were. But nevertheless, is it going to be the same Covington? Because against Leon Edwards, he broke his foot. He showed, in the first, I don't know what it was, first, second round, whatever it was, but he did not look good in that fight. I was there at that fight. It was a great card. That main event kind of basically just took the wind out of the freaking arena because nothing much happened. Edwards played it pretty safe. Colby didn't do much until the 5th round. That's when we see vintage Colby where he took Edwards down and dominated him. If he had done that for the whole fight, he probably wins that fight easily. That's what we thought was gonna happen. So I mean, I've always been a Colby fan since back in since when he defeated Robbie Lawler, probably even before that. That was like one of the most craziest, like one of the best performances out of any fighter back at, up until that point. But we're talking that was 5 years ago. We haven't seen much since then. I mean, he has 2 great fights against Kamaru Usman, very close fights. Clear winner, I thought, in the first one. Second one could have went either way, either a draw or I could have seen even Colby winning 3 out of 2 rounds, but he did get dropped in that second round, so it's kind of hard to give it to Colby when, he got rocked in that round and got hurt. That could have been a 10-8, but I mean, he was always right there. Even Dana White came out and said, if there was no Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington would be the welterweight champion. He'd be the best guy in there, but, we had that opportunity against Leon Edwards. He was injured. Leon Edwards, since then, has lost to Bilal Muhammad, who is the champion now. And this is a big welterweight matchup right here, just to see where Colby's at and also to see where Buckley's at, because he's a star, right? He's rising right now. ever since he's been in welterweight, he's been killing it, crushing it, just coming off a knockout victory over Wonder Boy, 3rd round. Stephen Thompson, he freaking just knocked him dead right there. So that was a good fight. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting fight up until then, but you could tell Joaquin Buckley is putting on a lot of pressure. He's coming forward. He has a wrestling background. Wrestled all 4 years in high school. Colby Covington, we all know, that's Oregon State, great wrestler. I mean, he's always been a great wrestler since way back in the day. So it's like, that's his thing. His pace, his wrestling, his throwing his strikes, per minute, all that. Like, he just always in your face, always coming forward, constant pressure. So this could be a train wreck or a car crash, just 2 guys come meet in the middle and go for it. And we'll see, because Buckley is a younger, stronger, buck, 30 years old. Colby's 36, hasn't fought very often, hasn't been active. Buckley has been active. The matchup, I would say a couple years ago, I would say for sure Colby dominates Buckley. Nothing against Buckley. Buckley's a beast. He's explosive as fuck, has a lot of power in his hands and his kicks. You see he has the viral kick knockout where the fighter caught his foot. He does a spinning back kick, like Tekken style, and knocks him the hell out, So, I mean, we know he's explosive and he has crazy power and he's stronger and hungry. He's hungry, what I'm saying? He's hungry, So we'll see what happens there. But, a few years back, Colby, I would say, hands down, he wins this, probably dominates just wrestling and pace. But Buckley has shown a lot of improvements in wrestling, and we'll see. I mean, if his takedown defense holds up, this might be a type of fight where it ends up just being a stand-up fight because Buckley's a strong guy, probably stronger than Colby. I mean, he's fought at 185. Colby doesn't really cut much weight just to make 170. So, I mean, he definitely has a better wrestling technique and credentials and pace, but cardio is right there for both guys. Buckley, they kind of had, I think at 185, he had a little bit of stint where he was kind of like gassing and stuff like that. But since he's been at 170, he's been in great shape, great cardio. So, I mean, this is a 5-rounder. Buckley's usually used to 3-rounders. We'll see that if that plays an effect, but he has been more active. And we'll see if Colby can even keep that same pace that we always knew that he could do before the Masvidal incident, honestly, because, I mean, he basically, like 50-44 Masvidal or 50-45, whatever. He won all 5 rounds against Masvidal in the ring, in the octagon. But then when it came to the street and he got rocked, he got sucker punched or whatever, it's been a different story. Like, we didn't see the same Colby off that fight against Leon Edwards. So it could have been just because of the injury, but it also could have been just because, maybe Colby's not pulling the trigger. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Colby's an unknown right now. This is the first day of media. He's already coming out talking head about, LeBron James, saying what did you mean by when he said there's ain't no party like a Diddy party? How many Diddy parties you've been to? Saying LeBron James should be in a cell right next to Diddy, and he's an evil piece of shit, and all this. And he's not a role model. Then I seen him on Guru's interview. I just seen a little clip of that, or a headline saying something about John Jones having fruity tendencies. You know what I mean? Because he used to be a roommate with John Jones back. I think it was like in JUCO wrestling college. They were teammates, and they roomed together. They're roomies. So, I mean, yeah, so they have that beef. They always had heat anyway, because Kobe's always talking shit on John Jones. But he said that John Jones has fruity tendencies. He used to paint his nails and freaking try to get a little too aggressive with the wrestling when they would wrestle around, that he would try to grope them and try to almost like take advantage of them in another way, like a sexual way other than just wrestling. But who knows? I mean, who knows? And then he said John Jones only likes fat chicks, 300-pound fat chicks or whatever, which to each their own. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying it's racist, skinny black guy thing. I got a nephew, same way. They like big girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I don't think that's anything to that. That's not a stereotype. It kind of, it's just kind of proven at this point. But same time, like, if that's his preference, that's his preference. So what? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Fat girls need love too, but that doesn't even matter anyway. But the same thing is, he's a chubby chaser. So what? Who hasn't taken down a couple rhinos in their day? But no comment on that one. But yeah. So I mean, this fight is intriguing. Like, I mean, I'm kind of, it's hard for me to pick this fight because we don't know what Colby is going to show up. Like, if it's the Colby of old who comes in with that crazy pace and insane cardio and just in your face, blitzing and taking you down, rinse, repeat, take you down, smother you up against the cage and just wear you out, basically, then yeah, Colby all day in a 5-round fight. But if this turns into a fight where he doesn't want to really test Buckley's wrestling that much because of wrestling, because of Buckley's strength and his power, he's strong, so you could wear yourself out if you're wrestling like him. If you look at Colby and Kamaru's fight, there wasn't very many wrestling exchanges. First fight, I think Colby got a takedown he didn't get credit for. Usman might have got a takedown or two, but only wasn't able to hold anyone down because there wasn't much wrestling, because they're both such high-level wrestlers. And a lot of times that cancels each other out because wrestling is tired, especially if you're going for takedowns constantly and you're getting stuffed. So, I mean, it could be that effect as well. Joaquin Buckley, I could feel like he will go all out a little more. He's a little bit more composed in his attacks now lately. He's not just so throwing everything for the fences, but he is constantly bringing pressure himself. So he likes to back people up against the cage, and if he gets takedowns that way or just throwing big power shots, then yeah, maybe he will do that. Maybe he'll wear himself out if Colby's not there to be wrestled, or if Colby could out-scramble him. So, I mean, there's a lot of like what ifs or what could happen in this fight as far as their wrestling and their abilities at this time in their careers. Colby 36, Buckley 30, younger man, hungrier, hasn't been up there. Colby's been up there, had his title shots, and has lost his title shots. But if he wins this fight with what happened last week with Ian Gary and Shavkat Rakhmonov, and then also Rachmanov, and then Bilal being injured, obviously Shavkat's going to get that fight. But I mean, and I know UFC doesn't like to usually do winners or losers, but if Colby wins this fight, he might, he could call out Ian Gary or whatever after this. He's going to say a cuck and all this crap. He could call him out and try to get some of that shine, maybe out wrestle Ian. That could be a good fight for him. Or he could just maybe even get right back in the title picture just because Buckley is starting to come into his own and really build some momentum in the welterweight division. Welterweight's pretty good right now. Kamaru Usman, I don't think he's still matched up with anybody. He's been injured, so there hasn't been anything going on with that. And he's lost to Edwards twice, but Edwards is still out there. They can always run that back. I mean, Colby. So there's names out there for Colby. Bilal was calling out Colby for years, and nothing ever happened out of that. So, I mean, they could always maybe rekindle that beef if he gets a win in impressive fashion against Joaquin Buckley. So this fight, I could see, Colby, if it is old Colby, outpacing Buckley for 5 rounds, getting a decision. Or I could see Joaquin Buckley just stifling takedowns or them not even wrestling so much because of that, because of the car crash and because they both know how to wrestle. So it might cancel each other out, and I can see Joaquin Buckley catching him. I mean, because he has the longer reach. Colby's like 5'11", Joaquin Buckley 5'10". Joaquin does have a longer reach, though, 4 inches, which is huge. You're going to have to cover that distance to get in there. And if Buckley can't stay composed, as long as he doesn't smother his reach and try to put too much forward pressure, then that could smother that reach and just get rid of that. Then maybe Colby could outmaneuver him with the wrestling and his scrambling ability, because he does have great scrambling ability. He's quick with it. He has technical. He's real technical. So the thing is, if he could do all that, but if he can stay composed, stay on the range, let Colby come to him, and then just counter him with that longer reach and more power. Definitely on the feet. If there's a knockout in this fight, it's going to be Joaquin Buckley because he hits hard. He just knocked out Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is one of the most elusive fighters out there in striking. He's not that easy to catch up to. And Joaquin Buckley took 3 rounds, but he was stalking him that whole time, and he was able to catch up to him and knock him out. And put him out. So, I mean, he could do the exact same thing to Colby, and he'll have 5 rounds to do that. And if Colby's coming forward the whole time and Buckley can't counter and land that big shot, I think he can TKO Colby. Maybe not knock him out cold. Colby always had a great chin, and because of his insane cardio, he's always able to recover fast if you don't finish him. So I could see maybe a TKO or something, and Colby jumping up like, hey, what I'm right here. What's going on here? Just like he did against Usman in the first fight. But this is a tough one. I'm torn with this one. It's because I'm a fan of both guys. I like both these guys. But I like Colby from back in the day. But is it the same Colby? I'm not a fan of his antics anymore. I'm not saying the Trump stuff, whatever, your political stuff's whatever. But the whole character of it, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that anymore. It kind of lost a lot of steam because he hasn't really been fighting. That's the main thing. And winning, really, because he's won. Like I said, he lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one. So he's kind of been trading wins and losses. So, I mean, you got to be successful if you're going to be that much of a heel. So it did lose a little bit of steam. I think fans got a little bit tired of it, But, it's hard to say, man. I think I'm going to go with Buckley. He is the favorite here. Colby Covington, I could see him dominating Buckley. We'll see the levels of the wrestling and the pace right away. It'll be evident. Probably the first round. If Colby was able to take him down with ease, then Colby's going to dominate this fight and just keep taking him down and wrestling him and wearing him out. And I could picture Joaquin using a lot of strength and energy. He's got a lot of muscle, which needs a lot of oxygen. He's jacked. So, I mean, it takes a lot out of you to keep trying to get up over and over again with someone hanging on you. So, I mean, if that's the case, then, yeah, I could see Colby doing that. But I feel like it might be the other thing where it's a car crash and both these guys are going to be throwing in the center of the cage. And I just feel like Buckley, Colby can throw a lot more combos. I feel like, he does keep that good pace, throws a lot of nice kicks, jump kicks, all this stuff, front kicks. I mean, he does a decent job, but I just feel like he don't hit as hard, where he's knocking people out with one punch or anything like that. And I feel like Buckley, he's shown that he has devastating explosive power. So I'm thinking maybe third round. I think if Joaquin's going to get him out of there, I think it's going to be early second, third round. If not, that means he's not hitting Colby, and Colby's basically doing what he wants to do, and he's going to win the decision probably pretty comfortably, 50-45 or 49-46 type thing. I could see Colby doing that as well. So, I mean, I'm not trying to hedge my bet here because I'm not even betting, but I'm going to say Joaquin Buckley. I'm going to think third round, TKO, And sorry, my boy Colby. I mean, I'm a fan of his fighting style anyway. You know, not so much of the other stuff. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's funny. His shit is funny when it's original and it's funny. Like the LeBron James stuff, that's hilarious with the Diddy stuff. Like now, LeBron James is probably getting hate on his freaking, you know, his social media about that right now. You know, so I mean that's good. And the John Jones stuff, because right now John Jones with fans, he's not the most popular guy because a lot of people think he's ducking. I mean, he's popular, but I'm saying he's not. He's ducking Tom Aspinall on one hand, and some people, and other people like me, I kind of see where he's coming from. You know, he wants to make money fights. He's got 1 or 2 fights left. You know, I'm not saying it's risk reward. Pay the man if you want him to take this bigger risk in everyone's eyes, even though Tom deserves a shot, but he said he'll relinquish about, you know, so he don't even care about that. So, I mean, yeah, so that is what it is on that. But, yeah, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and who do you guys think? Do you think we're going to see the old Colby? You think we're going to see the old Colby, or you think we see the new Buck, Joaquin Buckley, coming in and beating Colby and just keep rising towards that title shot? Maybe, you know, he could get the winner if he gets an impressive victory over Colby. This could, like, just, he could jump some people over right here, too. He's already called out Usman, and he's pretty much called out everyone. He was scheduled to fight Ian Gary this week, but then after Bilal got injured with his toe, his infection in his bone or whatever in his toe. So Shavkat had to fight. Well, didn't have to, but Ian Gary stepped up to fight Shavkat last week, which was an okay fight. I mean, it was interesting. Shavkat played it safe. So it's kind of like, I mean, he didn't get his finishing streak ended. He did do what we had to do to win. Ian Gary had him in a lot of danger in that 5th round. So I mean, Ian Gary didn't lose much stock there. So that's what I'm saying. The winner of this could still fight Ian Gary, you know, before the next fight, because who knows when Bilal's going to be able to fight with that toe that shows nasty infection he had. So who knows when that fight will happen. Shavkat didn't really take a lot of damage. I mean, he almost got choked out, but they might be able to turn it around like first part of the year before Ramadan and all that. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is it going to be Colby or is it Buckley? I'm saying Buckley, but I think we'll know right away the first round. Like if Colby's able to take down Buckley and do his pace and push that pace on Buckley, then yeah, I feel like Colby could just, if it's the old Colby, then yeah, the one who fought Robbie Lawler, the first fight on Usman, Masvidal, you know, like all those fights. If it's that Colby, then yeah, Colby all day. But it's too many unknowns. He hasn't fought a lot in his last few years, and he didn't look that great against Edwards, injury or not. I mean, he was able to do it in the 5th round. Then if he could have did that the whole round, then the whole fight, then yeah, he'd be champ right now. Or he might have lost to Bilal, but who knows? But we'll see what happens. Yeah, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. So I got.